Hello viewers, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll be talking about circles. Now what is a circle? In one of my videos on the plane figure, I mentioned about a circle, and a circle is a plane figure bounded by a curved line called the circumference, which is always equidistant from the center. To note, the sum of angles in a circle add up to 360 degrees. A circle can also be defined as the path traced by a point which moves in such a way that its distance from the center is constant. As you can see, we have two separate diagrams of a circle and the different parts of the circle. The circle on the right will start with the radius. The radius of a circle is the distance from a point on the circumference to the center of the circle. As you can see from the diagram, the radius spans from the circumference to the center. The radius is half the diameter, and to note, the plural of radius is radii. The chord. A chord is a straight line joining any two parts of the circumference. As you can see on the diagram on the right, we have the chord spanning to two parts of the circumference. The secant. The secant is a straight line which cuts across the circumference of the circle. As you can see from the diagram, it cuts through both points on the circumference of the circle. The circumference. The circumference is the distance around the circle. The center. The center is a point which is equidistant from the circumference, which means no matter how you look at it, it is always of equal distance from the circumference. A quadrant. A quadrant is the area bounded by two radii which are at right angles to each other. As you can see from the diagram, the radii are also bounded by an arc, and a quadrant is also known as the quarter of a circle. A tangent is a straight line which touches the circumference of a circle at only one point, even when produced. A normal. A normal is a straight line which is at right angles to the tangent of a circle. It passes through the center of the circle when produced. From the diagram on the left, we have the segment. As you can see, the segment is a part of a circle bounded by a chord and an arc. A sector. A sector is a part of the circle bounded by two radii and an arc. You might confuse a sector with a quadrant. The difference here is the quadrant has two radii which meet at 90 degrees to each other, whilst the sector has two radii of different angles. The diameter. The diameter is a straight line drawn from one side of the circumference, passing through the center of the circle to the other side of the circumference. Now, in my previous videos, I mentioned that the radius is half of the diameter. An arc. An arc is any curved part of a circle. Don't confuse it with the circumference. The circumference is the total distance around the circle, and the arc is any curved portion of the circle. The semicircle. The semicircle is one half of a circle, or a segment with the diameter as the chord. Now we'll move on to types of circles. First, we have concentric circles. Now concentric circles is on the left, the diagram on the left, and these are circles that share the same center but different radii. Now keep in mind, radii is the plural form of radius, so each circle found in this concentric circle have different length of radius. Notwithstanding, the concentric circles all share the same center. On the other hand, eccentric circles, these are circles with different centers and different radii. These are two or more circles which are not drawn from the same center. So these are called eccentric circles, as you can see from the diagram on the right. The last type of circles we have on the video today are tangential circles. Tangential circles, these are circles that touch each other at a point. As you can see from the diagram, the 2 points of the circumference of each circle are touching each other. So that's all for today's video. Our next video will be featuring several construction examples, featuring also the circles, the polygons, the quadrilaterals, and also the triangles and angles. Thank you for watching today's video.